Alright everyone, the new Spinosaurus from the Rebirth Danger Set has been revealed and been picked up by JP Plastics. You can see their videos and their content over on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. And they've done comparisons next to T-Rex, next to battle damaged Spino. And you can see this is much smaller, I feel, a much more accurate size than the tail Thrasher Spino. But thanks to these comparisons, we are going to compare the size of this Danger Set Spino to the tail Thrasher Spino later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. I believe I got pretty close to an accurate size comparison. This one is obviously a bit smaller, as you can tell, but I still think they work well together, so definitely stick around for that. But this is just so cool. I'm hearing people are quite happy with this one, considering the tail doesn't have all the, connector joints to move it, which personally I quite like that feature in toys where you can just whack things around. I've got, the Lego T-Rexes have that feature, the big one from the 2019 set, and you can just wag its tail around. Same with this upcoming Lego Mosasaurus, I believe, and I think those are just really cool. So I am nonetheless excited for the tail Thrasher Spino. So yeah, and then there is obviously this one, which is cool because you can just have a sweet, nice Spino. And I guess if you don't want that tail Thrasher action, there is the 12-inch one coming up of that exact Spinosaurus, and in an even more accurate paint scheme. We will get to that video in future, and we will compare the sizes of the 12-inch to the Danger Set Spino and the tail Thrasher Spino. But for now, I just wanted to focus on the Danger Set Spino because it's, a big topic right now. It's like, oh my gosh, it's been picked up. It almost makes me think that JP Plastic was sent this for a Beyond the Gate special, but Neems, they decided last minute they want Neems covering it because they've set this up in like a photography way. But I feel like, there's a few photography people in the community, so it makes sense. But I wouldn't be surprised if they got sent this and then like, I'm gonna go to Target and pretend like I got it there to not get in trouble or anything. I don't know, but that's just me going on my crazy conspiracies. I really doubt that's what happened. Apparently, you can just find this at Walmart. I believe that's where they found it. They said Walmart score over in Canada. I don't think there's anything in the US right now, unfortunately. I personally live in Australia, and I know the release date for Australians is May 19th. So, very excited for that. I can't wait. That's like, just a bit over a week away. So, can't wait to get a hold of the tail Thrasher Spino and hopefully some other Spino figures maybe. And then eventually the D-Rex once June comes along. But here we've got the Zora Bennett figure and the Henry Loomis figures. I think they look really neat. And yeah, I'm definitely buying this Spinosaurus Danger Set. And I'm not sure about the human packs anymore. Maybe I might skip them. Maybe I might get them. I'll definitely get Duncan Kincaid, of course, because he's not in this set. And I don't know if he's coming in any other sets. But yeah, I definitely want his character, so that's a must pick up. With everyone else, I'm not too sure. I'm quite happy just having my human characters exclusively in Lego. I do have most of the main characters, like, Owen Grady, Claire, Alan, Ali, Ian, even got Dr. Wu. I don't think I have Hammond or Nedry, unfortunately, but I have, Ray Arnold, Muldoon, and stuff. And then we have, some bonus Dominion characters like Sawyer and DeSantis, Rain Delacourt, whatnot, Maisie Lockwood as well. So, I got the main stuff you would want for humans. So I figure I'll stick to collecting the main humans. And obviously we know the main three leads of this movie, Zora Bennett, Henry Loomis, and Duncan Kincaid. Look, if I really want to, maybe I'll pick up that Martin Krebs set with the Velociraptor. That's interesting. And again, that Henry Loomis with that new walking Pteranodon also piques my interest, but I feel like maybe we'll get a Hammond Collection Pteranodon soon. That's just a hunch, by the way. I don't know anything. But yeah, anyway, One Collector, we're going to use their footage to kind of try and get an estimate on how big the tail Thrasher Spino is to the new Danger Set Spino, because both JP Plastic and One Collector have compared it to the Spinos, the previous ones, the JP3 mold. And, obviously JP Plastic compared it to the Camp Cretaceous one and also the battle damage one, whereas One Collector has put next to the JP3 one. But they're roughly similar. So I figure we can use that to kind of compare them all together. And once we get a look, I try to mesh the battle damage Spino over the JP3 Spino to get an accurate size. And we will take a look at that soon. But yeah, I think this guy just looks really cool. Like, have a look at that. Imagine if this happened in the movie. I've seen that theory going around a lot. It's like, oh, look at this claw on this foot. It's definitely JP3 Spino. I'm pretty sure it's just the T-Rex, but let the JP fans go off on their conspiracy rants and whatnot. We're having fun, but guys, we've wanted Spino in all the Jurassic World movies, and we've theorized it. It just hasn't happened, so I'm just going to say don't get your hopes up, basically, for JP3 Spino. It would be cool, and I'll definitely stand up out of my seat if it happens. It's like, oh no, we're down to Spino. We need someone. And then JP3 Spino comes in, But anyway, there's the size comparison. I think it's pretty cool. I'd say, whilst it is small, the other tail Thrasher Spino could be like the big brother to the Danger Set Spino. If you want something more accurate, I haven't done the size comparison for it yet, but I feel 12-inch Spino is actually pretty decent size, and maybe it could work alongside this new Danger Set Spino. I'm gonna hope so, because it's got, even though the 12-inch one is, it has less paint and whatnot, they're smaller, it seems to almost have a more accurate paint scheme than the Tail Thrasher Spino. But of course, the Tail Thrasher Spino has a way more beautiful paint scheme. I would say a lot more detail put into it. But still, I feel like that 12-inch one is worth investing in just if you want accurate things. And also, this Tail Thrasher Spino is going to be very big compared to when you get a D-Rex toy, I feel, I feel like that's just me, but it's not going to match up accurately. Whereas if you got the Danger Set Spine, the 12-inch one, and then you got the normal size D-Rex toy, I feel like that could work for accuracy if you want to recreate a fight between the the Rebirth Spinos and the D-Rex. And then obviously we're waiting on that third Spino. We don't know what it will be, but I'm hoping it is in the size range of Danger Set. And I'm hoping the Tail Thrasher Spino is more just to have a gimmick on Spino that people want to buy and kids want to play with. But yeah, that was Hammond Collection T-Rex compared to Spino, Rebirth Spino. And this is Hammond Collection Giga compared to Rebirth Spino. So thank you very much, One Collector, for putting the big three up against the new Rebirth Spino, because that's just so awesome. We just need an Indominus Rex comparison, I guess. I do know One Collector has an Indominus Rex. They compared it to their super colossal Mosasaurus, and that was awesome. I can't wait to get that and recreate Jurassic World scenes. But anyway, make sure to watch up here for more, and I'll see you later. Bye, everyone.